Chef Buck here, or am I looking at the camera on my chest? I don't have a camera girl today, so we're going to try this for our recipe video today. But of course the key to a really great recipe video is to not be in the bathroom. So let's fix that first. Alrighty, so today I'm going to make an avocado tostada. So let's go ahead and get our avocado washed first. Boom, boom, boom. Then we'll just dry it off with this dirty towel. And we'll just pretend that it's clean. Now when you're shopping for an avocado, one thing you want to look for at the market is make sure it's got this little nipply doodad in here. Because that acts almost like a seal. Like if that's missing when you buy it, you know that might mean your avocado's dried out. Or it will be more dried out. So having that little plug in there is a bonus. So let's go ahead and slice our avocado in half. I'm going to have to try to keep my body from weeble wobbling too much. Wow, that is a big pit in here. I feel like I didn't get great value. But let's go ahead and get it out. Just go ahead and give it a whack and a twist. Boop. And then I'm going to slice it into a couple of halves here. And then I'm just going to throw it in a little mixing bowl here so that we can mash it up. I've got to try to stop looking into the actual screen of the camera and just look at what I'm doing and assume that everything I'm going to want is going to be on camera. But I'm just trying to figure this gear out so that when Camera Girl and I go traveling in the near future, I will have this stuff all figured out. Now one of the great flavors for an avocado tostada is a little bit of lemon. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some juice on my lemon, and that will help to preserve the color of my avocado. And it's just such a nice flavor. But sometimes I like the vinegary flavor. So you can use vinegar if you don't have a fresh lemon, and that'll work just as well. So let me go ahead and mash up my little bit of avocado here. So we'll get our avocado all nice and smashed up here. Now when Camera Girl and I make this dish, we usually do just one avocado and split between us. Well, normally this would be, a lot of avocado for one tostada, but that pit was so big. Let's see how big that pit was. Look at that. That's as big as a cow's eyeball. For those of you who've never lived on a farm, that's about the size of a ping pong ball. And your avocado can be as smooth or as chunky as you like. I actually like it to be a little bit chunky. Now I think that the key ingredients for this dish are a little bit of sun-dried tomatoes and this everything seasoning. If you don't have these two ingredients, then I don't know, I wouldn't be that excited about it. And I really like the smoked flavor of sun-dried tomatoes. But sometimes we just do half smoked and half of the regular sun-dried tomatoes, because sometimes that smoky smoke can be too much of a smoky flavor. Although I don't think so. But, if you think it is, just go ahead and divide it up. But you'll be able to see that the smoked sun-dried tomatoes are a lot darker than just the plain old sun-dried tomatoes. I'm doing the GoPro squat there. I don't have to do that. I can zoom in and post. I don't have to be so undignified. And this probably looks like a lot of sun-dried tomato for this small dish, but I really like the sun-dried tomato. And I think these pieces, these julienne cut pieces, are too big, so I like to give them a choppy chop. So we'll throw all of this in with our avocado. Now to make my avocado tostada a little healthier, I like to sneak in about a fistful of spinach. So I'll just give it a rough chop. And then I'll add that in with my mix. Let me go ahead and stir this up. I think I'm ready for a spoon. Now, like I said, one of the key ingredients is this everything seasoning. And I'll show the ingredients on the back here. You don't have to add salt to this at all because there's plenty of salt in with this everything seasoning. And I go kind of heavy on it. And then I'm going to add a little sprinkle to the top at the very end as well. Now another thing I like to throw in here is this Italian seasoning. It adds a little bit of heat. But if you don't have this and you want some heat, you could just put some pickled jalapenos on the top. So I'll get it all stirred up and mixed around. And now I'm going to use it as a topping on this corn tortilla. Now I like to buy the untoasted tortillas and just toast them up in the oven, but my mother-in-law buys these. So this is kind of handy, although it's not the healthiest option. Now the thing is, she likes to buy these huge stacks of them, and sometimes they go stale by the time we get into the bottom here. So if you use these and they do go stale, you can just go ahead and throw them in a toaster and just let them toast away for a moment, and that will freshen them back up. But this is a reasonably new package, so I don't need to do that. Now, as I said, usually this much avocado we use to make 2 tostadas. So I probably won't need all of this. This is going to be more than enough for 1 avocado tostada, and that's spread on here pretty thick. Now when I make these for Camera Girl and her mother and me, we'll use 2 avocados. And even that's way plenty, because my mother-in-law only likes a very thin amount of avocado spread on top of hers. But you can make it as thick or as thin as you like. I've actually got this pretty thick. But as thick as I have this, I wouldn't be able to make a second one this thick, because there wasn't that much of that avocado. Now one thing I like to do is top this with a little bit more of this everything seasoning, because I just like the look of it. Although that's not really going to matter in this case, because I'm going to put so much on top of here. And another ingredient that I like to put on here is some toasted sunflower seeds. But I don't have any of those, so I'm going to go ahead and raid my mother-in-law's pine nut stash. But we'll just keep that between us, because this here is really too crazy expensive to be putting on this dish. But Camera Girl and my mother-in-law are off on a little trip. So as long as they don't see this video, nobody's going to know. I probably got maybe 30 pine nuts. She's not going to miss 30 pine nuts. I deserve those. So I'll give it a little smashy smash down. Boom, boom, boom. Now, I really like to put fresh green onion on here, but I don't have any today, so I'm going to have to forego that. So I'm all by my lonesome, so really this is going to be my dinner for tonight. Isn't that kind of sad? Now the pine nuts are nuts, so that's protein, but it's probably not a lot of protein. So I'm going to go ahead, and I usually don't do this here, but I'm going to go ahead and throw an egg on here so that I have a complete meal. Let's see. My skillet is slowly heating up, so I'm going to throw a little bit of oil in here. And I really like an over easy egg, but that's probably going to be too messy to go on this and eat it, so I'm just going to throw an over hard egg on here. Got a little bit of a spread on my egg, which is good. So hopefully it'll be enough to cover my tostada. And since I don't want this yolk running down the front of my shirt while I'm eating my tostada, I'll go ahead and give it a break. I'll go ahead and bust it up. Oops. And even though I've got some hot pepper on my tostada, I'm going to add some black pepper. Alrighty, so that's it. There's my avocado tostada with a little bit of egg on there. I'll put some more black pepper so it's a little more photogenic. Maybe I'll throw a tomato on here too. But there you have it. That is an avocado tostada with a little bit of egg on top. So that's a complete meal. Cooked it up pretty fast. You know, I thought I was going to do this as a real-time video, all in one shot, but I really think this camera was quite a little bit weebly wobbly. So let's go to the bathroom and talk about it. Alrighty, so there you have it. I almost forgot to do the taste test part of my video. So sorry about that, I already started. But it's very delicious. I love these. And I usually don't put an egg on them because it's very filling and it's very flavorful even without the egg. But since this is my dinner, what the heck. I appreciate your patience while I'm testing out this new stuff. I don't know if this is going to work for a cooking video. But hopefully this will work a lot better on our travel channel. So I'll have a link down below if you want to go check that out. I think we're going to be going to South America in about a month or so. So should have some semi-interesting stuff coming up over there. Got a link to Patreon down below if you want to support us on Patreon. myfoodchannel.com, slowpoketravel.com, all that stuff. We appreciate you watching what we put up, and we'll talk to you in the future. Bye-bye.